Hi, how are you today? It's a great day here, beautiful fall, almost fall day. And I've been working myself a little bit on um, my messaging to you guys around what you want to do in your riding, how I can help you in your riding. And one thing that I feel is really important, and I did a blog post I think yesterday or the day before, and I'm building on that now. And I've brought this up in the past, is really important to understand, to learn your foundations, to learn the rules, to learn about position. Um, that it is important to have a good position. It's important to develop techniques, to learn all the classical stuff that we need to learn about how horses work and how to ride and all that. But then as we do that, it's really important to understand why you're doing it. Why is position important? And it's important because it connects you to the horse, to give the horse the best ride that they can have, to be the most successful, for you to be balanced with them and out of their way, for you to help them. And what can often happen in riding is I'm seeing it in business as well with myself. You get so caught up in following the rules and what you're supposed to do and all that, that you lose the connection to what's happening in the flow, and in riding, the feel and the connection to the horse, because you're thinking more about doing everything, get caught up in yourself and doing everything with good intention, step by step, following all the rules, doing what you're supposed to do, and in the process losing that connection and that feel to your horse. So understanding with your horse, riding is a two-way conversation. You're not alone up there, right? You're riding a horse. It's another living entity, so it's even more different than other sports. You're working with another living entity. And it's important for you to understand that, again, like I said, your position and all that is important, but understand its purpose and listen to your horse and open up lines of communication, so that you're not just trying to fix everything in yourself, but you're noticing what's happening with your horse. You're noticing if your horse is straight. You're noticing what kind of gait your horse has at the walk, trot or canter. You're noticing the quality of it. You're noticing the quality of the horse's movements, the carriage, and thinking, what's the outcome you want? What is it you're trying to achieve? So therefore, how are you going to apply these skills, apply your position, apply all these things you've learned to getting that end result that you desire? So remembering that you need to be listening, so softening up your body, not being all tight and working so hard on the position that your muscles are locked up and you're not hearing what the horse is telling you. You need to be listening to the horse, So if the horse gets tense, you notice it, you soften, you change something and see what works, and you keep playing around with things, and you notice the horse isn't straight, you correct it and see if you can improve that. And if that doesn't work, you try something else. So again, it's important to have the rules and to use those rules, but you want to keep them in your toolbox and use them as needed, not get them worrying about all of them all the time in your head, so that your head gets so caught up in all this stuff that you're trying to learn and all this stuff that you're trying to fix in yourself, that you are not listening to that conversation that you want to have with your horse. That two-way conversation, listening to them, responding back, relaxing an aid, listening for their response, till you get this fluid way of going, till you get that feel, and you can really see that the horse is happy and you're getting what you want, and you're really listening to your horse with an open mind of discovery, so that you're saying, what is it you're telling me? What is it you need from me? Not just what do I need you to do, but what is it you need from me, so that I can help you achieve the things and it's a team effort. Certainly the horse isn't thinking about the team effort in the same way we do, but it's a team that you're working with. So what is it, the horse needs? So be listening to your horse and being open-minded. And if you notice some things that need to be improved, improve them. If you notice, if you're not listening and your horse does something wonderful and you ignore it, then your horse is going to may well shut down or get tense or do whatever because you're not responding appropriately when you ask them, say, to move forward from your leg, and they move forward beautifully, and you still keep legging, and the horse is, well, what do you want from me? And they get tense and run or shut down, depending upon the horse and their personality. So really, open mind of what's happening. What's my horse? I applied this aid. Did I get a result? What is my horse telling me? And really being curious about what's going on with your horse. So, like I said, in straightness, is my horse straight? Why is my horse's head tilted that way? If I change something here, will that affect that? Will that change that? Why is my horse, falling in on the corners? What do I need to do differently? And, don't do it with judgment, don't beat yourself up, but just being curious about what's going on with your horse. What is it you may need to change? Try something, be curious again. Did it work? Oh, it did. Isn't that great? Well, what did I do that made that happen? That needs to go in my toolbox, not just the toolbox of stuff that I was told I need to do, but the toolbox of stuff that I discovered. And you're going to remember those things that you discovered when you open your mind up to working with your horse in trial and error better than things that were told to you. It's the application of all of this stuff that's really going to help you develop feel and connection and understand what's going on with your horse. And really allow yourself to feel all this without judgment. So it's not like, oh man, my horse got crooked and fell in. I'm so mad. I'm upset with myself. I didn't do it right, or I don't, now why is my horse always doing this to me? Well, they're not doing it to you. What is it that you could change? What could you do differently to help support your horse and be straighter or be whatever it may be? What are some of the things, maybe even before you ride that you need to do to prepare your horse to have the best ride? If your horse is a little up on days, be curious and go, you know what? I didn't ride yesterday and he didn't get turned out. No wonder he's up. So that's what I should expect to have happen. And that's okay, because now next time I can control that and I can make sure I turn him out or do a lunge or know that I'm going to have a little bit of an energetic horse and I'll have to ride through that. So, develop that feel and everything that's happening without judgment about your horse or about yourself, just recognizing, being curious, and really looking at mistakes and failures as true opportunities for growth. So like I said earlier, when you make a mistake and you're curious about it, excuse me, and you think, what's going on here? That's interesting. What if I do this? Will that help it? And you notice that it does help it, or it doesn't, and you try something different, and you finally get something that helps the problem, you're really going to grow as a rider, and you're going to develop more feel. You're going to, start automatically doing some of these things because you won't even have to think about them so much because they'll become intuitive. And you will really see big results if you shift your mindset this way. So, the whole idea of, I think rules and all that are important, but we can get so caught up in following all the rules that we don't develop a sense of self and discovery and learning with our, whether it's in horses or like with me too in business. You get so rigid in what you're trying to practice that you don't open yourself up and stretch those boundaries and learn and take all the opportunities that are presented to you. So just something I wanted to bring up. You'll be hearing more from me about this because it's really something that's important to me that I would really want to bring out more and more to riders. And really you can use this, like you said, I'm using it in business. You can use it in any aspect of your life. And if you would like to reach out to me for any more information, to get good coaching, or have any questions about anything I offer, please reach out to me, or just a question in general. Be happy to talk to you. And you can reach out to me at lisa@mindfulequestrian.com. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.